Good morning, my friends. I am going to give you a garden and backyard tour. But before I wanted to clear up something that folks brought up when I did my grocery haul yesterday. They were asking about a move. And I thought that maybe you guys understood because we've talked about it a lot on the live events, but if you haven't been watching everything, perhaps you don't know that we've been actually talking about moving for a while. It's been our long-term plan to sell this house and use the proceeds from it, because we bought it as a foreclosure, so we've got some equity in it, and to buy another house in cash. Now, we don't know how soon that's going to be, but it does seem like now would be a good time. And when I say now, I say it in the broad sense, like in the next, several months or so. Even with all the things going on in the world, the market really isn't that bad. So anyway, we thought about taking the opportunity and just seeing if something happened. And if you're asking where we're moving, we don't know. But I know this, Wisconsin's looking pretty good. Because if you don't know, my son's getting married and that's where he plans to stay. So we're just kind of weighing our options and trying to sort out what we want to do. And in the meantime, there's a ton of house projects that we want to get done because we want to make the house as nice as possible so we can get the most money possible, because that's going to translate into a better paid for house when we do in fact move. So yep, we put up a pool, and we don't, like I said, we don't know if we're going to move or not. So while we're here, we'll enjoy the pool. And if we decide to go, then hey, whoever buys the house will have a nice pool. And if they don't want the pool, we will be happy to take it with us. So it's just one of those things, because we're not like, we got to move right now. We're going to live our lives and be happy. And if the opportunity presents itself, then we're out. So we're just kind of going with the flow. But at the same time, I feel like, obviously our kids have gotten older. Ricky's already gone. Marquise and Brian should be out here then hopefully in the next year. They're all finishing up their things they're trying to get done. And then Brianna's, can you believe she is almost done with college? She's already done a full year. So here in the next few years, it's just going to be me and Rick. So is it like imminent in the next few weeks? No. At least I don't think so. But is it definitely something we're working towards and planning towards continually? Yes, because even in the next few years is very soon. So, and thankfully we've been home, for the last while, and we've been able to work on the house project. So it's kind of more in the forefront of our minds. So anyway, so that's the deal with the moving. And I hope that clears it up. And in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to enjoy this house and be thankful for it. So on that note, I'm going to take you and show you our backyard and all the things we've been doing to it, including the pool and the garden, what we've been doing there. So anyway, you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Hey everybody, it's Amanda, and today I'm doing a backyard garden and pool tour. Of course, we've been working on our garden all season, and the pool feels like all season. There it is. So I'm going to take you over to the pool first, because I think Brianna's going to jump in here in a minute. You can hear her probably mowing the grass, and she said when she's done, she's jumping in. So let me show you what we've done so far and what our plans are for this week. So you can see we've still got stuff, just a mess on my porch here. So much to do, but here is the pool. And it is in, you can see where we dug it out with a skid steer. And then once we pulled all the dirt out with the skid steer, then we had to get some sand brought in and put a couple inches of sand, because I don't know if you can see down here, but there is a bed of sand underneath, and that had to be leveled as well. My air conditioning is on and it's loud, so I'm sorry. But anyway, so I'll put the video of the sand being dropped in here. A little bit more.
That it? Alright.
Yep.
Can you drop forward a little bit? I mean, that's like... it's awesome.
Thank you! So after we bought the sand in, then we could set the pool up, which was its own whole process. But we've got it up, we've got it propped up on all the legs and everything, and the pump is in. We've shocked it, we've got chlorine, our little chlorine thing is over there. We've still got to get a skimmer and do everything, and the pump, you can see it's on a electrical cord to the house, but I am having an electrician come out and bury a line under the ground to have the outlet right there by the pool. This is just temporary while we're working on it, and I have like a little so sad thing that I set up with the electrical cord just to make sure that nothing gets wet. So I basically took 2 aluminum bread pans and duct taped them together around the connection so there's no wetness getting in there. You know what? It works. But anyway, so the pool is up and it's done. And so the only thing that we have left to do right now is backfill around the outside of the pool. All of this stuff we got to backfill. And I'm going to take you around the side of the house and you can see all the dirt that we pulled out of the hole. So right there, you can see the big pile of dirt. It's at least 6 tons, at least. Because it was at least double the size of the 3 tons of sand that we got. So we're going to use a good portion of that to backfill around the pool, and then anything that's left over we're going to use to kind of regrade around the house a little bit, and there's an area in the front of the house that we need to fill in. So that is what we are doing with the pool. That's our update. Have you guys ever seen a mimosa tree? Can I just tell you? Look how beautiful it is. Is that not beautiful? I love this tree. We actually have this really big one, and it's right behind the pool, and it's beautiful. And then we have one more on the far side of the yard over there. I love those mimosa trees, I really do. Anyway, let's go over to the garden and I'll show you what we have in the garden right now. So here's the compost pile. It needs to be watered down, and it needs to, this is a rock that we got out of the dirt when we were digging out for the pool. And that's just a random brick, but this needs to actually be wet and turned, but we've been distracted by all of our other activities, so that hasn't happened yet. There's the gas can from Brianna cutting the grass. She's doing it right now, like I said. She's in the front of the house. But over here are the raised beds, and I just cut all of these greens and kale the other day, and I left a few leaves on just so it'll continue to grow. And so far it's actually looking really good. In fact, the only thing that there is some Swiss chard here, and it's the only thing that the animals seem to want to nibble on. So I let them nibble on it, and then I get to keep all my kale and the red leaf lettuce. They will nibble on the kale when it gets really big and bushy. So these are my peppers, and I actually pulled a pepper off of this the other day, so it is producing, but it's still kind of small. We'll see how it goes through the summer. this bed I cleared out, and let me tell you a story about this empty bed. So this bed had carrots, garlic, peas, spinach. I'm trying to think of everything that was in it. I don't remember. I think that's it. So I actually cleared all of that out because, you know, it's past time for all of those the other day. So I went ahead and weeded it, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in this bed. So send me a comment down below and tell me what you think I should put in there. I have a ton of seeds. I have way more seeds than I could ever use. But the thing is that I'm just not sure if I want to do more veg or if I want to actually try some flowers. But then I also thought about, I have a bunch of wildflowers, like just planting them along the edge of the yard. I don't know. I do have this bed. I could use it for veg. Why not? It's just deciding what I want to do. So let me know your recommendations on that. So over here are my tomatoes. Now, these tomatoes are actually really tall. Like, that is up to my waist. I don't know if you can see how tall that is, but that is pretty tall right there. And don't you love our little trellises? We made those out of bamboo and mason string that we had around the house. So, but these tomato plants have all grown really big, but they're like really leafy and not a lot of tomatoes. I'll show you just a couple of little tomatoes that I have on this front one. Can you see it? They're buried in there. Where are they? Oh, there they are. See her? There's one and there's two over there. Right there and right there. But none of the rest of these really have anything on them. And then over in my second tomato bed, those are really tall. Those are really small. These are Romas, by the way. But my Romas actually have tomatoes on them. Do you see it over there? They're small plants, but there's a Roma. Got a bunch of little guys right there. Over here, there's one right there. So these guys seem to be producing, but not really doing much in the way of leaves. I mean, yeah, exactly. So there's a couple more Roma right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's so bright, it's hard for me to see. There they are, right there. So, I'm not sure. If you also leave me a comment down below if you have ideas on what I could do for these tomatoes that aren't really producing but are very leafy. I looked up some things and they pretty much just said it's probably the temperature, so there's nothing you can do about that. We're just trying to keep them watered and trying to make sure that they, you know, have everything they need. So in these two beds, I have cantaloupe, zucchini, and celery. And my celery had almost died. Like, I really thought it wasn't going to do anything, and it's actually sprung up really nicely. So I am excited about the celery. I've heard that celery that you grow from home tastes very different than store-bought, so I'm excited to taste it because I'm not a huge fan of store-bought celery. And then this is my cantaloupe. This is one. And this is the other, and you can see the flowers. Probably not with my shadow, but look at the pretty flowers. There's something happening here. This one has no flowers, and it's smaller, but the celery's doing good, and the zucchini's better over here. And this one, the cantaloupe is good. Celery, not so great. They mostly died back, and I had 6 in this bed. You can hear Brianna splash in the pool. I had 6, no, I'm sorry, I had 6 in this bed, and now I'm down to 3, and that one over there is teeny tiny. That's medium size, and that's quite large. But, you know, at least I got some. And then look at my zucchini here. This baby has some flowers. So I'm really hopeful that we're going to get a good zucchini out of that one. And, you know, it's small, but again, this one's small, but it has more flowers. This one is larger, but it only has like 1 flower down in the bottom. So, well, no, it has a couple, but there's still not many in comparison. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we're going to roll with it. By the way, while I have you over here, let's come over and look at this blueberry. My blueberry plant was looking really good
And you can see it has blueberries on it. You see them? But now it's starting to look kind of like it's struggling. So I'm not quite sure what that would be. If you have any ideas, let me know. It's kind of rust colored, making me sad. But then look what we discovered. Over into my woods over here. That one. Gotta be careful because you never know about snakes around here. We have rattlesnakes, we have copperheads, and I'm always nervous about it when I go towards the woods. But I don't know if you can see, but we do have blackberries. You see that? And Brianna's been picking them. There's some over here too. So I think next year we'll probably try to trim this back right here at the woods, because one of the reasons we don't go in here obviously is snakes, but another reason why we don't go in here is because there's a lot of poison ivy and stuff. I don't see any right here at the front right now, but I still would want to trim this back and like make sure it's nice and clear before we're gonna go back and pick things out of that. So I'm trying to be real careful. My kids are less careful, but I'm trying to be very careful. So but anyway, so that's nice because that's extra food that's growing right here that we have access to. So that's really nice. So anyway, that is our tour. I'm gonna, since I'm over on this side, I'm gonna show you the mimosa tree from this angle. So there's the edge of the pool. Can you see that mimosa? It is so pretty. It's so tropical. Look at Chi-Chi. Marquise is over there saying hi to him. Again, under the mimosa. I love this tree.
I'm so good at skimming.
Brianna's skimming the pool and she's very proud of her skimming skills. Look how pretty that is. Doesn't it feel tropical? Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for coming and doing our little backyard tour with us. Still got a lot of work to do and it's been keeping me busy off of YouTube, but I'm hoping to get caught up here soon and then we can be back in business. And there's still a lot more stuff to be done with putting in the electrical, putting in the walking path, and doing all those other things. And Chi-Chi's by me now. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with us and we'll see you guys next time.